Today we are going to talk about the changes that Princess is making to one of their largest itineraries ever. We're going to be talking about a really exciting announcement from Viking Cruises, an innovation that American Airlines is making, and lots more. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday. It is October 24th of 2024, and I want to start at the top letting you know what's going on with Princess's World Cruise. Before we start with the news today, I just have a quick announcement about our group cruise that we announced a few days ago. That's that transatlantic sailing from Southampton to New York City on September 19th. We've also got the cruise that departs on September 7th that is part of that. You can turn it into a 26-day cruise if you want to do the 12-day portion, that's the British Isles, and then tack on that transatlantic that is 14 days from Southampton to New York City, as I mentioned. A few things about that. It is on the Majestic Princess, and the pricing right now is better on the Princess website and the public Princess price than I have for my group for most of the cabins. And so take a look at the website and see what you think about the pricing. If that would work for you, then send me an email and let me know if you want to come, and then that way we can go from there and book your cruise. If I can get you a better price on a cabin, I surely will, but that gives you a really good idea looking at how much it would cost. So Princess's World Cruise for 2026 was set to follow the path, the itinerary that usually their world cruises follow, indeed covering the world. But they have just announced, Princess has, that due to the fact that the Suez Canal and that entire region is still experiencing a lot of difficulty, I think is the easiest word for it, but they are not able to sail to that region, and so they are taking the World Cruise for 2026 and turning it into pretty much a Circle Pacific World Cruise, and it's going to be longer. The original World Cruise was going to be 114 days. The new World Cruise is going to be 131 days. The really cool part about that is they are not raising the price. If you were booked on that cruise, you are set. It does not matter that they're going to visit more ports that they were going to, that it's 2.5 weeks longer. You still get to keep what you had before. So I think that's wonderful. Now, a couple of notes about that. First of all, they are going to be going to more ports in New Zealand and Australia, spending more time in Southeast Asia. In fact, they are going to be in Japan in April, which is the time to be there for cherry blossoms. Then they're going to go, when they get done at Japan, they're going to be doing the Trans-Pacific to come over and see everywhere in Alaska, like a full Alaskan cruise, and then come down the coast, go to Ensenada, and then finally end in Los Angeles after a stop in San Diego. So this is really exciting. If you're booked on that world cruise, let me know in the comments. I would really like to hear from you. And a big thank you to the Let's Go family member that shared a lot of information with me about the World Cruise. It's really interesting to me. I think a lot of times a World Cruise is kind of stands out there as a dream cruise, something that we all would like the chance to do if we could have the time and the money to do it. But at the same time, it's a long time to be gone from home. You think about that, 131 days, that's a really long time. So in the comments, let me know, what is the longest cruise that you have been on, and would you like to go on a world cruise or something that is 131 days-ish long? I think that's a really fun thing that we could all talk about together, because clearly a lot of people have, different preferences about that. And so, noting this change for the 2026 World Cruise, I'm already looking forward to hearing how everyone enjoys it. When I'm thinking about this 2026 World Cruise and talking about it, though, as we know, this is right now 2024, it reminds me that we all need to be thinking about planning, because things are changing, as I keep telling you, and we talk about together in the cruise industry and what that booking window looks like and the availability on some of the cruises. So if you have got something on your bucket list, I've talked to you about this before, make your list and figure out when you're going to do what it is that what you want to do. And if you can't do it, looking at where you stand today, figure out what it is that you need to do to get into the place that you can hopefully do some of the things that you want to do. That's a challenge, okay? And what I'm giving myself as well. So think about that, because if we wait until 2026 to book what we want to do in 2026, I think we're going to find that our options are much fewer than they are today. Next up, let's talk about Viking. Viking Cruise Line, as we've been talking about, is a mover and shaker these days. They went public earlier this year. Their stock is doing well, and they have like 20 ships on order. They just announced that they are partnering with Fincantieri Shipyard to have 2 more ships that will be delivered. They're the ones that hold 998 passengers, which means that they'll be their ocean cruise ships. And this is really exciting. So not only will they have 2 more cruise ships delivered in 2030, but they also have signed options for 4 more with Fincantieri Shipyard. And the way that things are going, I bet they exercise those options. When you think about the shipbuilders all over the world, because I've been reading about this, there is really limited capacity. You've got some major shipbuilders, but they can only build so many ships per year. They can only do so much. And so it's a really big deal that the cruise lines get their orders in, that they have their options in, so that the shipyards plan on it. One thing that I really appreciated about the press release that I read about this new announcement from Viking is that Fincantieri pointed out that having the cruise lines line up, and other institutions that want ships line up the orders the way they do and do it so far out, it is really good for them, because then they are able to have steady work at their shipyard. They're able to expand and do everything that they need to do to be able to have the capacity to build as many ships as want to be built. And so I think of Carnival with so many ships on order. Now we've got, I was thinking about this, so Viking had 20 already on order. Now with the 2 more that will be coming in 2030, that brings us to 22, and then they've got those options for 4 more. That's huge. Nobody else is building ships right now the way Viking Cruise Line is. So I think we all need to take note. Viking is on my list to try next. I am so pleased that I went on Azamara last month. That was definitely worth my time, my money, and the effort to do it. I absolutely loved it, and I learned a lot that is changing the way that I cruise. And so Viking is next, and I'll be delighted to share that with you coming up. Okay, what is American Airlines doing? So, you get to the airport, you go through security, you go wait at your gate until they say that you're ready to start boarding. What happens when it gets close to the time that they're going to start boarding? Everybody goes, not everybody, but a lot of people go and stand kind of over near the boarding area for the gate. And then they start calling the different, zones, the different boarding groups to come up and go on, board the airplane. And I have noticed that, you start off, with people that need a little bit more time to get on. Then they allow the active duty service members to go, and families with children. It depends on what airline you fly on as to when they slide families with young children in to board the plane, I've noticed. But anyway, they have those groups, but then they start calling the groups that is the general bulk of the people who are going to be flying on that flight. And it seems like a lot of people all go at once. Well, apparently, American Airlines has decided that they are going to catch people who want to board the plane sooner than they are allowed to with what boarding group they are in. So once they start this, if they call zone 1 and you're really in zone 3 and you try to sneak in and just scan your boarding pass and get on the plane, they are no longer going to allow that. There is going to be an audible sound so that the person that is working there, the American Airlines worker there, will be able to tell them that they need to step aside and wait until their group is called. So it's really interesting to me that it was a big enough problem that the airlines thought they needed to do that. So we'll be keeping an eye out for other airlines. I'm sure other airlines are going to watch what happens with Americans and just see how it goes. But I think it's a good idea as someone that abides by the rules. I always I'm always anxious to get on the airplane. And why does everybody want to get on the airplane first? It's because they want to have space to put their bag in the overhead compartment. Because if you have a full flight, sometimes there is not room for everyone to put their bag in the overhead compartment. And then you end up having to check your bag, and when you didn't maybe want to check your bag. So let me know what you think about that update in the comments as well. So thanks for joining me today. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to make my videos just a little bit shorter, trying to entice more people to listen and to join the Let's Go family. So if you have not joined the Let's Go family yet and subscribed to our channel, will you please go ahead and click on that subscribe button? And if you appreciate my updates, please give this video a thumbs up. It makes a really big difference. So thank you very much. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.